Alright, so with the collaboration in full swing, I thought it would be interesting to see what sort of content we can take new characters into. I've tested some of them out in PvP, I haven't tested Rudeus out in PvP yet. I will do that in a upcoming video very shortly, but for today I'm actually gonna test Rudeus out in PvE. And more specifically, we're gonna take him into the bird boss. Now I've already done this, I've pre-recorded the video, but we're just gonna go ahead and see, and sort of this is the team we're gonna use. So if this team looks familiar, you can just replace Rudeus with Megellda and you have basically the fastest bird farming team. Now this team isn't a lot slower. The recording I have is 11 minutes 30 seconds from like start to finish and loading screens and all of that in between. But that is mainly me just sort of taking like a good 20-25 seconds sometimes to just think about the moves I'm gonna make. I'm pretty sure if you just speed through it, you can easily go like 8, 9, 10 minute runs from like floor 1 to floor 3 with this team. It's not that much different than like not having Megellda here. And I actually noticed that you don't even need healing for this team. Like, yeah, we have Brunhild and she does have a healing ultimate, but in this clip I never even used the ultimate once. And this is really strange, honestly, because there's not a lot of synergy going on between these characters. They're all very, very selfish characters. Like Rudeus boosts his own basic stats based on like how many humans you have on the team. So too does Brunhild. She gets increased to basic stats based on how many humans you have on the team. Escanor is of course just a selfish unit as well. He just boosts his own stats whenever he uses attacks and stuff like that. And Roxy of course also increases her own crit chance for every human ally on the battlefield, but she also provides a little bit of extra damage, and this comes into play very well with of course the one ultimate, with of course Brunhild. If you build her out to have like additional crit chance gear, do check out my other video on that as well. And of course Rudeus, if he has 5 orbs, he's basically gonna crit every time because he gains 50% crit chance, and he already has 94% crit chance. So you don't need to put crit chance gear on him. I do have attack crit damage gear on him, and with just regular attack percent sub rolls on the top pieces. So you don't need any more crit chance on him. If you want to, like, I guess you can go until you have like 120% crit chance, and he should crit most of the time, and then you can crit even without having 5 orbs. I found that, you know, getting 5 orbs isn't the most difficult thing either. Like turn 1 you're just using 4 attacks, any sort of attacks, because they're all humans, and then you just use a Rudeus signature card the next turn, right? And then 3 other cards, and then a Rudeus signature card the next turn as like the second attack that you do, because at that point he will have 5 cards again, and you just rotate like that. You can just continuously rotate, and if you have him 6/6 like I do, anytime you ult with him, you'll basically gain 4 magic orbs. This says 3, but using the skill, using the ultimate itself gives you 1 orb, so do keep that in mind as well. So even if you have him at 1/6, do know that when you use his ult, you will get 2 magic orbs. So with that, we'll just go into the gameplay video, and I'll like go over it as we're like looking through it. So this is the clip, and the very first turn, like I just throw out some attacks that I know will kill the boss. And you know, we don't really need to look at this. You just kill him. She just attacks and you deal a bunch of extra damage anytime you crit with single target attacks. Now on the second turn, you can of course also kill it in 1 turn. I think that is what I'm doing here. And as you can see, Rudy already has 4 orbs. So if you want, like, you can use a single target card there. I do believe I wait this turn out by just attacking with some AoE cards. So I'm not really dealing too much damage, but the bird himself on the first floor doesn't deal too much damage. You don't need to worry about that. Just try to save some really strong cards for the final phase of the first floor, and you should be, you know, you should do well. Here I got a gold Rudeus merger there. As you can see, the bird didn't really do that much damage to me, but I'm spending like a good 10, 15, 20 seconds just thinking about moves that I'm gonna make. You will most definitely see that later. Like every time I skip forward in the video, I'm skipping by like 5 seconds. So like this was 5 seconds skip. I'm pretty sure I'm contemplating on the next phase. I'm pretty sure I'm not contemplating here, because here you can just easily kill him. I do have Rudeus' ult, and on the next phase I'm actually contemplating, because I was thinking about how I can like maximize damage with Rudeus specifically, not how I can maximize damage overall. But yeah, this is some good thing about Escanor as well, while you have Roxy. As you can see, Escanor's finger poke, I just went back here. Escanor's finger poke, of course, hits damage cap, which is 30%. And then his scorch damage, which is 30% of the damage he deals, will be additional damage. So 30% of 30% is 9%. So he will deal an additional 9%. And then Roxy's damage will deal, well, however much she does based on her attack, like 300% of her attack, which in this case is like 61k, which will bring the boss below like the 50% mark, as you can see right here. So that is the Roxy damage up here. That is the Escanor finger poke damage. And then you just attack again and the, you know, phase is done. This is why this team is so fast, or this specific, having Roxy and Escanor and then 2 other human units, I suppose, or like 2 any other units. Specifically human units, I'm using, like in my fastest team, I'm using Brunhild and Megellda, of course, just to boost my all stats, which will most definitely help out in a lot of the floors, because she can both cleanse and heal. But here, as you can see, I'm gonna skip forward 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I still haven't played. So I'm taking my sweet time to just assess the situation and like what attacks I'm actually gonna use. And the way I'm gonna attack here is I'm gonna attack with this Signatar card first, just to deplete all the orbs. Of course, hit damage cap and proc the Roxy passive that's gonna deal some additional damage. Then I'm gonna attack once with Brunhild to give myself 1 orb. Then I'm gonna use the ultimate, which I have at 6/6. That's gonna give me 1 orb for using the ultimate and 3 more orbs for actually ulting. That's gonna be 5 orbs, and the ultimate itself, as you will see soon, deals, I believe, 30% extra damage per orb applied to you, plus the 525% damage that it deals at 6/6. And of course, Brunhild misses both crits there, unfortunate. But we can just have a look at, not at that, but at this. Oh, let's just go back a few frames. There we go. So applies 3 magic orbs on self. So this goes between 1 magic orb and 3 magic orb at 6/6. Between 1/6 and 3/6, it's 1 magic orb, and 4/6, 5/6 is 2 magic orbs, plus the orb you get for actually using the ultimate. And it deals an additional 30% for each magic orb. And by ulting, after having attacked with Brunhild first to give myself 1 orb, that's going to be 5 orbs, which is an additional 150% damage, because I have 5 magic orbs. And as you can see, it didn't do a lot of damage, but you'd have to remember, like, this boss has a lot of resistance on this phase. And then just hit him with a silver attack, and the Brunhild passive finishing him off. Then we move on to floor 2, and in this floor, I just focus on doing as much damage as I can on the first phase, while still saving some signatory cards for the second phase. So here I am just attacking, hopefully critting with all my units. And if I kill, I kill. If I don't kill, I don't kill. But I think I quite easily kill here by just attacking with these cards. Of course, I'm saving the Escanor finger poke for the second phase, because as you saw earlier, Escanor's finger poke, if it hits damage cap on a 30%, you know, damage cap, he's gonna hit for more than half the bird's HP, because the bird doesn't really have that big of an HP pool. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna attack with that. Yeah, and here I also take my sweet time to just sort of figure out what sort of attacks I want to attack with, what sort of attacks I want to save. Here I'm actually saving a single target attack there. I was kind of gonna save 2 of the single target attacks and just use 2 AoE attacks, but just to be on the safe side, I sort of wanted to go with 3 single target attacks on this phase. And that's because on this phase, phase 3 of the second floor, you do have to be kind of mindful of sort of the attacks that you do. Or was it the next floor? I think it was this floor. Yeah, I think it was this floor, because either you want to deal, just hit damage cap and not deal too much more than damage cap, because if you bring the boss below somewhere in like the middle of his health, he's just gonna fully heal again. So either you want to do that with 1 attack and then wait 1 turn, or you just want to do enough damage that you can kill the boss. And here, of course, I'm critting once with Brunhild. That hits some additional damage. Roxy, of course, hits a lot harder. Now I'm gonna, of course, hit damage cap and crit. And then Escanor just finishes it off. So with 3 kind of weak attacks, well, 2 weak attacks and 2 strong attacks, I was able to kill it in 1 go there as well. And I only did that because I wanted to save at least 2 single cards for this phase as well. But luckily I got a bunch of more extras, like single target cards, that I can use in this phase. So yeah, I was skipping there quite a lot. I think that was like 25 seconds of me just waiting and not doing anything. And that's sort of why the runtime of this video is 11 minutes 33 seconds. Otherwise it would have been like at least a couple of minutes faster. And I'm not sure if it's the fastest team or whatever. I don't want to like claim that it is. I still want to claim that like the team with Megellda is a lot faster. But you know, if you just slap Rudeus instead of Megellda, if you don't have Megellda and you do have like all these other units and Rudeus as well, like the account that I gave away has that. It doesn't have Megellda, but it has all of these units. You can do the bird boss with that team. Really nice. You just need to gear them out and get a little bit of like account CC, and you should be fine. Maybe like try to farm out floor 1 and 2 to get Brunhild her Holy Relic, because her Holy Relic does help out quite a lot when she's debuffed, and then you'll be fine, you know. And this is the final phase here. Of course, he has a lot of like defense, so you deal quite weak damage, and of course Brunhild missed crits on the first attack. Roxy, of course, will always crit because she gains, what is it, 40% crit chance per human on the team, and we have like 4 humans on the team. There's no way she's not gonna crit with every single hit. We can skip the damage we take, because we do take a lot of damage, but of course you have Brunhild, so you can heal if you want to. For this particular run, I do not heal, and the final phase does get a little bit scuffed because Brunhild does die, everyone else survives, and it's actually not that bad, but... And here I sort of wasted a finger poke just to ensure that I kill. I wasn't expecting like the amount of damage from Rudeus. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, here I'm also taking my sweet time. As you can see, I'm skipping 5 times there just to sort of get like a gold attack animation at least. And I did sort of place Rudeus at the very edge there because his gold animations do sort of focus on the left or right hand side of him, so just to try to get some nice screenshots of that for the thumbnail and stuff like that. So that's sort of the things I was thinking about in this video. I wasn't thinking about like speed running it, I was just thinking about that stuff. But yeah, the bird does deal a lot of damage on this phase. He does sort of delete Brunhild, specifically her cards, because he attacks her with his signature card, and that sort of deletes her cards and removes her Orc Gauge orbs. So you do have to be mindful of that, because she is green, he is going to focus her. So if you're like saving a heal for the second phase or whatever, I would suggest just don't. And yeah, but here I actually kill with Escanor, but he does get applied with the dissolve because he wasn't able to kill. I think it was the Brunhild hit that actually killed it, so he was applied with dissolve, unfortunately. And here I'm skipping a couple of times as well. So Rudeus' ult on it hits damage cap, then his attack doesn't quite hit damage cap, and then Escanor should finish it off here quite easily. That's the phase 3. If you don't like finish it off on phase 3, do you know you will be attacked like twice, I believe, and then he will do the debuff to you, which like at first prevents you from what was it, stancing, and then it's like, you know, buffing and then debuffing and then attacking and then ulting, I think in that order, if you like take too long here. But yeah, here we're just doing this, attacking with 4 really strong single target attacks. Escanor, of course, doesn't deal too much damage here with like a bronze card. Let's see, Roxy here. Yep. And Rudeus. He, of course, almost hits damage cap. I'm pretty sure that wasn't damage cap, but whatever. Alright, so here he basically kills my Brunhild. She goes down. Fortunately for me, he didn't do 2 AoE attacks or attack my Roxy. Otherwise, Roxy would have died, but I still think it would have been fine because it doesn't heal back too much there anyway. So I don't really need like the Roxy extra damage, you know. That was just from Roxy herself, but I think I would have been fine either way. So yeah, that was the run, that was the team. I'm just gonna go back into the game, and there we have it. Like this team, it works out quite well. I'm just gonna go over the gear now. I know I should have done that at the start. I'll just write it on the screen that you should just check the end for the gear, but they basically have attack, crit on them, all of them. Regular sub rolls, attack, defense, and HP, with the exception of Brunhild, of course, because she has crit chance. Everyone else has attack, defense, and HP. Sub rolls, the same gear, attack, crit damage. The card set is the single target card set, so you do need to have already ran the bird for it. Though I'm pretty sure you might not need it anyway, like you could do perhaps with the healing card set or something like that. It should still be fine. But yeah, that's the team, that's the run. Really, really fun to actually have like a human supremacy team, because, you know, Arthur Pendragon was right. The humans are superior to all other races, and Escanor Roxy proves that, and we'll see if the anniversary unit also does that. But yeah, let me know what you think about this team. Do you have any other uses for Rudy? Is he good in any of the demonic Vs? I guess I'll test him out there as well. But yeah, with that, I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.